All right, so we're sitting down today with Levi Hillier. Levi, first, how did you start racing? What age were you at?
I started racing down at WQMA, the quarter midget track down in Monroe there in Washington, and I grew up watching my dad race, and my grandpa did it before my dad, so it was kind of ran in the family.
Yeah.
So I started down there in driver's training when I was 4 and a half, I want to say, and then once I got through the novice training deal, I got into quarter midgets, and then from quarter midgets, I worked my way up the ranks in those classes, and then from there we went up to Deming and went junior sprint racing, then 600 restricted racing, and then open racing, and then onto the sprint car stuff. So that's kind of how I started and the journey to get where I am today.
Yeah, and so that Deming, I mean, that's where I feel like I've seen most of you. You won last year in Clay Cup. Where have you seen your micro career be at, and how has that helped you develop in your sprint car career?
Yeah, I mean, the micro stuff, it's kind of the step before sprint cars. I mean, you don't have to do it, but I feel like it sometimes benefits just to get some experience in other stuff before you get tossed right into the sprint car. So yeah, I mean, the restricted stuff, I did that for a couple of years there, and then once I felt I was ready enough, moved up to the open stuff, and yeah, it's been a lot of fun. We've won a couple championships, a Clay Cup or two, and it's just been a lot of fun. My dad and Justin are the two main guys who work on the car, and we just kind of throw stuff at it some weeks now and just see if it helps or doesn't help, so it's been a lot of fun.
How did this partnership with Rudeen start? How did you get your first ride in a sprint car?
Yeah, so Kevin's knew my dad. They've been buddies for a while, and my dad, I think, drove their car a couple prelim nights like a long time ago at Dirt Cup back when he used to race, and then I don't know, Brent Anderson was a big part in it. He was kind of kept telling Kevin, like, this young kid who races micros at Deming, he's kind of doing decent, and just, I don't know, Brent kind of made Kevin keep an eye on me to a point, and I don't know, I worked at the Speedway there for a while, and Kevin would always show up, and I talked to him for a little bit, and then we started talking about the sprint car stuff and how we were maybe going to partner, and then I went down to Trophy Cup in 2023 just to hang out with them and work on the car. I flew down with Brent Anderson. Okay. And I think it was maybe Friday or Saturday night, we went to the lounge and kind of had a meeting, and Kevin was basically like he would help me out with the 360 stuff, and then his daughter Amelia wanted to race the micro stuff, so then we kind of get to do the sprint car stuff, and we get a kind of maintenance and get the micro stuff ready for her to go. So yeah, I mean, it's been a blast. I'm really grateful for what Kevin's done for me. I don't really think I'd have the opportunity to race a sprint car at this level without him. I mean, he gives me everything I need to go out and produce results, so very thankful for him and all the stuff he's done for me.
So you can correct me if I'm wrong. Your first time, I believe, in a 360 was down in Arizona, right, with Barry Martinez and Kevin down there as well. What was that experience like? It
was fun. I mean, I never got to do anything like that, and with the way my birthday falls a couple years ago when they were starting May 6th or May 11th, wherever they were starting, my birthday's May 6th, so in order to get laps in the first 360 race, I wouldn't have had laps in the first 360 race at Skagit without going down and running down there. So we went down with Barry and the Wing Down guys and got a couple practice nights going. Kevin and Remy were down there, so we got to race with them a little bit. And then I went out and hot lapped, and the promoter was saying how it was questionable because of my age if I could race or not, but I was able to go out and kind of hold my own line and put some good laps together. And then yeah, we ran 2 nights down there at JJ Hickle. He was my teammate down there when we raced. He was driving the 66 car. But yeah, we kind of went down, ran Friday and Saturday. I think I ran like 10th Friday, and I think I was running like 8th Saturday, and it started raining halfway through the show. So, but no, it was really good, and then I could transfer the stuff I learned down there coming to Skagit, so I didn't just get tossed in the wolves since we were points racing and that type of stuff. But no, that was really fun to go down there and just get some laps for the first time.
So last year at Skagit, you ran both a Sporty and the 360. You picked up, I believe, 4 Sporty wins. How big was it for your learning to run both the 360 but then also have that sports sprint car with Barry?
Oh, it was huge. We ran May 6th at Skagit, or May 11th, sorry, at Skagit for my first 360 race, and then the way they kind of evened it out a little bit more this year, but I was going to run that 360 race and then have like 2 weeks off before the next race. So after we ran the first 360 race, we knew laps were going to be important, obviously, and Barry had that car sitting there for the wing down stuff with the Sporty motor in it, and after that first night, we talked to Kevin a little bit, and Kevin was telling us how he was going to get in touch with Barry and see if we could organize a way to do that Sporty deal. But no, it was huge. I mean, I'd run a 360 1 week and then do the Sporty for 2 weeks and back into 360, and sometimes we'd do both in the same night. So that was really important for me, just to kind of get laps, and I feel like I could learn stuff in the Sporty and transfer it to the 360 and so on and so forth. So no, I'm very grateful for that opportunity. Just I feel like I got more than the 11 360 races that were scheduled. I got another 4 or 5 sporty races, so that was a lot of fun, and I really had a good time racing for Barry that year. It was pretty cool.
August 3rd, your first three comes. What do you remember from that night then? Your first 360 win. Also, you won the sporty that night.
Yeah,
too.
it was the double D nights were always a lot of work, just from wheel packing. You'd go wheel pack one car and get back another car, but yeah, I think the sporty, honestly, I don't really remember the first half of the night. I think I qualified like second maybe, won the heat to start second in the feature, and then just kind of got the jump on the start and went away with that. And then the 360, I want to say I qualified like seventh maybe. I don't know exactly.
Yeah.
Started first in the heat race, won the heat, got in the redraw, drew the 2, and then yeah, just rolled around, just looking at Trey Starks. It was the first time I ever raced against him really up front, and then yeah, I kind of got the jump on the start down the front stretch and was able to get more momentum through 1 and 2, and kind of just was able to hold on for that one. I kind of got crossed up in traffic there. I think maybe on lap 12 or 13, somewhere on there, and Trey got back to my inside, but I was able to kind of sweep by him on the outside and carry momentum. But no, that was a really cool night to not only win the sporty, but to race against guys like Trey and that up front to get the 360 win too is something I'll probably never forget. So yeah, grateful to be able to do all that in 1 year. And like you said, the sporty stuff, I could kind of, I feel like if I didn't have those sporty laps, I might have not got that 360 win that year. So yeah, just all played out really good, and the track was a lot of fun. It was kind of up on the wall, up on the curb, just how I like it. So that was a lot of fun.
So at the end of last year, you got really big accolades, 360 Rookie of the Year from the National Sprint Car Hall of Fame. What emotions was that like when you learned you were getting that award?
Yeah, I was sitting in school, I want to say, and my mom called me, texted me. I think Blake Anderson was calling me or doing stuff like that, Brent Anderson too. It was cool. I mean, it was a complete surprise. I don't know, I was probably in math class or something, and I walk out of class and I check my phone, and all these really amazing people who are a part of my racing career texting me congratulations and all this stuff, and I go on social media and see the announcement of the 360 Rookie Year. So I mean, that was cool. I could probably stop sprint car racing right now and I'd still be a part of the Knoxville Hall of Fame. So at first I was shocked by it, but now that I've got my award and it's kind of sunk it in a little bit, it's pretty cool to be a part of the Hall of Fame and the museum in general in Knoxville. So that's really cool.
So did you get to go to Knoxville at all, and was there an awards banquet?
No, so actually at Dirt Cup, they presented me their award, and then that was basically it.
Okay.
I don't know when they announced it. Maybe it was like October or December. They did the the award announcements and stuff like that. But yeah, and then they were talking about coming out to Dirt Cup, and that's what they did last week. Okay. So very grateful for the Hall of Fame and making the long trip out here to come out and give me my award. That was cool.
So what aspirations do you have in racing? What are your career goals? I know you're 15?
Yep, I'm 15.
Going on 16 next year?
Yep. Yeah, obviously this year we're kind of stuck to the 360 stuff, but next year I'd like to get some 410 starts and maybe hopefully get a win or two. And I don't know, just eventually I'd like to be on a traveling series, World of Outlaws, High Limit, whatever one. I'm not picky. Just go out and race with the best of the best. Obviously, I hope I can stay with Kevin and we can race together for as long as we can and try and pick up some World of Outlaw or High Limit wins, one of the traveling series. But yeah, I mean, I think what Corey Day is doing right now is pretty cool. What Larson did is run the sprint cars, even Christopher Bell for that case, start in dirt racing and then get the opportunity to kind of go experience in NASCAR, but also be able to come back and do the dirt stuff when they want to. So I don't know, I think that'd be my long-term goal. Obviously, it's a little ways away, but if I get the opportunity to do NASCAR, I'd probably like to do that. But my goal right now is just to get to High Limit or one of those series and kind of race with the best of the best.
So along those lines, those have a lot of travel. This year you're doing more traveling with your 360. You're running less at Deming. How do you feel that's helping you throughout your racing career?
I think it's helped a lot. Last year all we did was Skagit and then went down to Trophy Cup at the end of the year. But just to get out to new tracks and experience different things, I think is helping me transfer back to just Skagit in general. Is go down to Cottage Grove and you run a tiny little bull ring, or you go to Douglas County or Elma, kind of a bigger track in general, and there's a bunch of different stuff you have to do different. It's kind of the big tracks, you got to carry wing speed, and you kind of do it the little tracks too, but not as much. But yeah, I think traveling around and getting some racing experience at different places and kind of being able to have that in my back pocket over some of the local guys, or even when we go down to California at the end of the year, being able to be seeing different stuff and experiencing different things, I think helps for sure.
So between running the micro and the sprint car, what's your weekly maintenance look like, or just your week when you have to run both of them? How busy are you?
Yeah, it's very busy, and then my sister races the junior sprint
Yeah.
as well. So usually we race Friday, Saturday. Then we'll get back late, come up probably around midday, and try and get everything washed Sunday, and then just go to work all week. Tuesdays are shop night, so we'll have Justin come down, and he helps me with all the maintenance and do stuff like that, and then yeah, just kind of get everything buttoned up a night or two before race night, and go do it all again the next week. So it's kind of a long cycle, but I got my dad who helps me, and then Justin who helps me too. But all in all, now that I'm on summer, I can kind of be up here every day and do all the maintenance I need to do. So that's basically what a maintenance week looks like for us.
Well, sweet. Thank you so much, Levi.
Yeah, no problem.
I appreciate
Thank
it.
you. No problem.